Welcome back to the program. We know what happened on 9/11. On 9/11, we had hijackers hit the World Trade Center. These were Muslim extremists. Did we not learn anything from that? Is New York stupid? Are New York voters about to bring jihad back into the Big Apple? Well, it certainly seems like it, because if you do believe any of the polling, it does show that this psychotic jihadist, Moran the moron, is way ahead. And it looks as though he's probably going to win. And why? Well, because he's a liar, because he's a communist, because he tells voters what they want to hear and then refuses to answer any questions. He is no different than Barack Obama. When Barack Obama ran, he had all kinds of terrible, absolutely dangerous, vile connections to all kinds of people. William Ayers, Father Flager, Tony Resco, Reverend Wright. I mean, the list is endless of how many people, okay? Well, this guy's racking them up right now, folks. He's racking them up. I've done a lot to expose this guy already. I've already told you about the fact that his PAC is run by a guy who was close to the World Trade Center 1993 bombing. We have now seen him absolutely support Hamas, number one, but more than anything else, hates Jews, wants to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. And there's Jews in New York. It's one of the largest Jewish populations. These people can't be that stupid. My people cannot be that stupid. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's getting dangerous. And I hope this show gets out to a lot of people. It's not going to be behind a paywall for that reason. So this Democrat socialist, and I wouldn't even call him that. I would call him an Islamo-fascist. I think that's what he basically is. Zohran the moron, okay, is actually raising money for people that killed, murdered, decapitated, slaughtered Jews on October 7th. Can you believe that? Yep, absolutely true. The night before the Hamas terrorists released the final living Israeli hostages, far-left New York City mayoral candidate Zohran the moron, Kami Mamdani, decided to spend Sunday raising money for a United Nations organization connected to the October 7 terrorists. That's right. Mamdani participated in the New York City Gaza 5,000, which was a race to raise money for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency Fund. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, no, not until you find the details. In August of 2024, UNRWA admitted that 9 of its staff members were involved in the heinous Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023. Now, some of these hostages, believe it or not, were actually held in safe places by the United Nations people that were connected to the October 7th massacre. You can't make this stuff up. So the hostages, including 3 women, were held for at least part of their 471 days in captivity within United Nations safe shelters. Holy cow. Mamdani shared on X, quote, "This morning I ran the New York City Gaza 5K in Prospect Park for the 3rd time alongside the Harlem Running Club to raise money for the UNRWA." He's not even hiding it. He is literally saying, I'm raising money for the people that helped, 9 people admittedly helped in the October 7th massacre. Jews, are you going to wake the f*** up? Huh? Where are my people? I don't understand this. Are you going to let these white liberal fascist women that have no brains at all in their head go out there in big droves and vote for this scumbag? For this tool of the Democratic Socialists of America? Where do you think he came from? He came from the radical extreme left. And he must be defeated. You know, it's one thing with Ilhan Omar, when I went after her all those years ago and basically lost my career. She was one person out of 435. This is the guy who would be running the largest city in the United States, the biggest economy. And yet no one is sounding the alarm bells. They all say the same stupid thing. Oh, let them win. It'll be great for the Republicans. Yeah, let them win. Yeah, and that's what'll happen. Go ahead, let him win, and then everyone will see what an idiot he is and how bad everything gets, and then we'll win later. You don't even let him win to begin with. Why isn't Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, denaturalizing this piece of garbage immediately? Why isn't he being denaturalized and not even allowed to run? He is a danger and a threat to the people of New York, and especially the Jewish community. But hey, you guys are going to reap what you sow if you vote for this commie. But so what else was on this story? Anything else of mention? The State Department issued a devastating report to Congress on the UNRWA in August, determining that the agency needs to be completely wiped out and abolished because it is beyond reform. So our State Department understands that the United Nations, which by the way should not even be in New York and should not even be in the United States of America, because not only are they anti-America, they're anti-Israel, and they're all a bunch of communists, okay? And they hate this country. Why the hell are our tax dollars paying to support the United Nations? I've been talking about that for 6, 7, 8 years now. Who knows how long. And then it says, the UNRWA's stated goal is to provide aid to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, but the report argues the organization is irredeemably compromised. According to the State Department and their documents, the Trump administration demanded in March of 2025 that the UNRWA return all remaining unspent balances of U.S. funding in its accounts. The Washington office said that it would do so, but has not yet completed the transaction. In May, the State Department said it's working to cease U.S. participation in all working level UNRWA bodies at the United Nations. The United States government pulled the plug on the UNRWA funding in January of 2024 and has not resumed aid to the agency. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's move, calling the wholesale dissolution of UNRWA, added a new layer of pressure on the United Nations and key donor nations to UNRWA, such as Japan and Germany, to reassess the viability of this organization. So now we know why the UN sabotaged President Trump's beautiful speech to the rest of the world, cutting off his microphone, cutting off whatever else they did, his teleprompter and other things. That's under investigation. I guess you could add that one to another investigation. But the bottom line is this. It's not the fact that he ran a 5K marathon and that he's a radical. It's the fact that he's raising money. He's raising money. Why didn't these idiots last night on the stage tell everybody in New York? Why didn't Cuomo talk about it? Why didn't Sliwa talk about it? Why didn't they bring it up? He's raising money for the people that caused the October 7th and took part in the October 7th massacre. All I can do is sound the alarm bells. That's what I've been doing my entire career, and I'll continue to do it. Hopefully this video gets out to a lot of people in the Big Apple and in the state of New York. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.